weeks ago and last week at Arnold Palmer. He's been taking behind whoopings from golf courses 2 weeks in a row, and last week he shot 369 consecutive rounds.
Rolling souls, winners was cold, summers hot, the barbecues on the block. My bitch a car snatcher, she pull up drunk now for nutcracker, just to argue, cause a scene, so we can fuck after this. Beyond try to grab a plate to see my mom's after him. My arm pattern, she a cold one. She breaking down the family tree and history and where we get our notes from and how we rose from. Go counts upon our melanin with knowledge and power to tap into the infinite intelligence. My granny probably want me grow up to be the president. I'm gonna hurt like this medicine. I ain't calm, gotta pay the Edison. You know that, right? So why you talking like we don't roll dice? You mad cause the big clip, you never had no swipes. Ain't running no stores. You don't know about them close calls. Cops trying to box niggas in. That's a cold cause. Everybody won't make it right. It's like coleslaw. Why you think we on the road for?
Oh Lord, bring that back. Bring that back. What's up, West Side Parlay right here?
Winners was cold, summers hot, the barbecues on the block. My bitch a car snatcher, she pull up drunk now for nutcracker, just to argue, cause a scene, so we can fuck after this. Beyond try to grab a plate to see my mom's after him. My arm pattern, she a cold one. She breaking down the family tree and history and where we get our notes from and how we rose from. Go counts upon our melanin with knowledge and power to tap into the infinite intelligence. My granny probably want me grow up to be the president, but instead I'm on a block selling perk like it's medicine. I ask calm, gotta pay the Edison. You know that, right? So why you talking like we don't roll dice? You mad cause the big clip, you never had no swipes. Ain't running no stores. You don't know about them close calls. Cops trying to box niggas in. That's a cold cause. Everybody won't make it right. It's like coleslaw. Why you think we on the road for?
Nah, he got off on that. It's your boy Ty West, man. We in the building. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the body, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Shit. Y'all know what time it is, man. Jump in here. Jump in the chat. We got some NFL news, man. We got two things to talk about with that right here. Russell Wilson's been traded to the Denver Broncos pending a physical, meaning that he is being shipped out of Seattle, where he won the Super Bowl at with the Legion of Boom and the Seattle Seahawks. He's off to the Denver Broncos, and they're going to see what he could do over there. But it's your boy Ty West, man. Come fuck with me. Y'all know what it is. I'm up in here, man. Dolo. Solo. Hopefully one of my peoples will pop up here. Aaron Rodgers signed a 4-year, $200 million contract for the Green Bay Packers, meaning that he's the highest paid player to date in NFL history with a 4-year, $200 million contract. That is life-altering stuff, if you feel me. Wanted to touch on a little bit of NBA too, man. That football joint gonna shake it up because they saying now Devontae Adams gonna sign a long-term deal. First of all, Russell Westbrook said his family's being harassed because of the play, the way he's been playing, and you know the criticism that he's getting. You can see people all over the internet calling him Westbrook and things like that. So you know, yeah, it's definitely been a rough year for Mr. Westbrook. Man, ain't nothing we can do about that. Oh, I seen that Knicks outing last night, man. Julius Randle, 46 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. RJ Barrett, 29, 8 and 6. Man, that young lineup is looking good. I don't care what nobody say. Over the Sacramento Kings, 131-115. The Nuggets beat the Warriors. The Warriors been on a little losing streak. The Lakers lost again. Can't make this up, man. To the Spurs, 117-110. Nasty work, bro. The Mavs beat the Jazz 111-103. Timberwolves over the Blazers 124-81. The Heat over the Rockets 123-106. And I thought this was probably going to be the game of the night, but it was a fucking blowout the whole night. The 76ers over the Bulls 121-106. And Pistons over the Hawks by 3, 113, 110. That was crazy, though. I don't know, man. The Lakers, man, I don't know what we're going to do with y'all, man. I thought that win the other night was going to get y'all going in the right direction. Not at all. Not at all. Well, a couple videos I wanted to cover, though, man. That was a little brief little recap of the sports and everything. I know I'll be into all type of everything and shit like that. I want to go over this video with y'all. Hold on.
Perfect shade of blue. The most royal.
As soon as they made this shit, everybody sent me this shit. They know I'll be into, stuff like this. But as soon as they sent me the joint.
Yeah, a blue that's actually perfect. Undefeated.
She was there too.
So, we're back. Before we jump into the recent situations, we are going to do a little background to bring things up to speed. Try to follow us, as we may jump around a bit. If you know, you know. So, the feud was real when it started in the early 80s, said a barber, who had cut hair at the chop shop salon in the complex. An idiot from one project got into it with an idiot from the other project, and then they had to get him back. But now it's just kids talking tough, not a constant and ongoing thing. People turn it into something it's not and give the hood a bad reputation. The hatred and violence among housing projects in the Rockaways goes back decades, pitting residents of one complex against another. Perhaps the most legendary of the long-standing feuds between Edgemere, long considered one of the city's most crime-ridden housing complexes, and the nearby Ocean Village, which is not connected to Ocean Bay, erupted in 2003 in Times Square. A popular video game arcade, located on West 42nd Street between 7th and 8th Avenue, turned to pandemonium when a man pulled a gun and sprayed bullets at a crowd, hitting 8 people. Another man pulled a knife and stabbed 2 people. In the end, 10 people were injured.
I did a video about that Times Square shooting melee, man. Go check my joint, the War on Far Rock in Times Square. I did something more on this, man. This is, I watched this before, but this is my first time going through it with y'all. And, somebody definitely put in a lot of work when they made this video. So big ups to them. I'm just doing my little reaction to it.
Uncritically, witnesses described a scene of chaos and panic as shots were fired about 2:45 a.m. on the second floor. Groups of young men from both complexes attacked each other with guns and knives. Police say that the fracas began when one of the accused said, "This is boring, let's light the place up," as he pulled out a gun. As the bullets began to fly, police say, possibly from as many as 2 guns, other people pulled knives as many others fled for the door. Allegedly, Justin and Brian were the shooters. Wilson's brother, Jeremiah, allegedly brought the gun into the hole and gave it to Justin prior to the shooting. Shamika was charged with smuggling.
Damn, I didn't even know they threw Justin Jerem out there like that, man. Free Busy, man. Brian. This was a nasty situation, man. A lot of people in jail for this shit for a long time. And some motherfuckers told too, man. This was nasty work.
In a second gun and giving it to Brian. Police had to beef up patrols around the 2 housing complexes, as well as around the 2 local high schools, Beach Channel High School and Far Rockaway High School. Cops recovered 4 shell casings from the dance floor, in addition to 4 knives and 2 box cutters. I know you wondering, okay, so who's the Crips and who's the Bloods, who's Flocks, 70s, the big homies, all this? Stick with us, we're getting there. Well, there were Bloods and Crips operating in and around Edgemere projects, battling over turf throughout different points within the timeline. August 2000.
See, this is where I gotta step in, man. Edgemere has never been about no motherfucking blood and Crip beefing over no turf. Period. Anybody want to argue with me? That jump in the comments.
2004. The Beach 41st Street Houses was holding its annual Family and Friends Day at the same time that a number of local organizations and activists were hosting the function at the junction held annually at Bayswater Park. It's like a reunion for people from the area. Each 41st Street party began to disperse around 8 p.m., so people who felt the night was still young moved to the Bayswater Park party. There was about 1,200 people there early in the evening. A dispute broke out between groups of youths at the party, the Wild Nita Crips from Ocean Bay, formerly known as Edgemere Projects, and the Bloods from Ocean Village. A small detachment of police was moving people off the street near Beach 43rd Street and Beach Channel Drive at 8:11 p.m. Suddenly, at least a dozen shots rang out, causing many young people to crowd the local stores, seeking a safe haven. When the smoke cleared...
See, yeah, I was in prison for a lot of this, so, you know, I actually came home like right after this happened. I want to say this was like 04.
Laying low in Red Hook houses when he was caught. The 70s gang operated between Beach 62nd and Beach 7th. Party began to disperse around 8 p.m., so people who f***ed Wild Nita Crip territory. Hudson and his accomplice and fellow Bloods gang member, Akeem, 20, forced 28-year-old Donnie into the lobby of his apartment building at 51st Street in Edgemere. Hudson pulled out a .45 and let off 3 shots.
They talking about the shit with Boo White and that kid that was on Facebook that was that actually told on him. What was his name? Naquan. It was like a post or something. It was like, yo, shout your building out, Edgemere. He jumped on there. Like, I didn't know the kid and shit. I was like, salute. He jumped on the post and shit. He was like, yeah, shit. So, dudes was like, yo, that's the dude that told on Boo White. I'm like, how the fuck I was supposed to know that? I don't know nothing about that.
Missing all 3. Afterward, he went outside and pointed his gun at Donnie's brother, 18-year-old Naquan. He pulled the trigger twice, but nothing came out. Hudson got low and went to fix the situation with the gun. He returned to the scene to find the brothers, now joined by their 43-year-old mother. Again, he let off shots, but each of them missed. In the summer of 2007, officers were on patrol near the Ocean Bay Apartments at about 1:50 a.m. on a Sunday. They spotted 3 Blood members crossing Beach Channel Drive near Beach 56th Street.
So they just skipping and they jumping, they bouncing around everywhere. So they was talking about the shit with Boo White, and they were, he got 45 years right now for this case right here, where the dude said he shot at him or something like that. And Naquan, whoever you may be, may need to go make that right on Fulham grave.
One of the men, Dominique, who was 17, saw the cops and repeatedly gestured at his bulging waistband. He put the cops on notice that he had a blicky on him. The cops didn't back down and moved on Dominique, who allegedly tried to pull a loaded .38 from his waistband. Before he could fire, one of the officers tackled him. The gun was out of reach. At this moment, allegedly, Shaheem, who was 19, pulled a loaded machine gun from his waistband. Shaheem pointed the machine gun, loaded with 21 shots, at the officers. Because there were people in the area, the officers could not fire at him. There was a quick standoff, where the officers repeatedly ordered him to drop the gun. Instead of doing that, Shaheem...
Yeah, I don't remember this right here, man. Somebody point me in the right direction with this. I was up creek somewhere when this...
fellow Blood member, Devin, 26, fled into a nearby playground. Dixon was already apprehended, so the other officers chased the 2 Bloods through the park, running through the civilians. The pursuit led to the Edgemere Projects, 5422 Beach Channel Drive. They headed for a first-floor apartment with police hot on their tail. A struggle ensued when the police were met by the suspects along with several others attempting to block them. Officers called for additional units as they struggled in a narrow hallway to place the armed men under arrest. One of the officers was dealt a closed fist punch, while another suffered a fracture to his hand during the situation. 9 arrests were made. The clip you are about to hear is Deadeye. Robert Bali, aka Deadeye, was indicted along with the 5'9" Grims in 2020. Recently there had...
It's just everywhere with this, like... They just jumped to something from some kids that was, I don't know, man. I mean, it was good work that y'all put in as far as like editing and putting the whole clips and everything together, but a lot of your information is wrong.
There had been allegations of him being harmed in jail. Let's listen to him real fast.
This game, you're not ready for it.
No, this one they said Dad's supposed to got cut or something in jail, and he responded back to it.
Okay, so that's Deadeye. Wonder who's wearing the wire. People in the street speculate that it may be Starbrim, as she is free, while other alleged members are locked down. But let's stick to Far Rock. Okay.
Yeah, they everywhere. They said I wonder who won. Wow.
So, allegedly, Robert Deadeye Bali was the head of the Far Rockaway branch of the Bloods at the Edgemere houses. Deadeye, who called himself the boss of Far Rock on his CDs, lived the lush life, with fancy cars and 2 pit bulls. None of this would save him from the gang sweep that took place.
Fancy cars and 2 pit bulls. Yeah, you said these fucking people be what? When did this man ever have a fucking 2 pit bulls? And I never seen him in no real fancy cars. Like, not to say he couldn't get one, probably, but y'all got your information wrong, man.
Place in 2007, which ended his alleged reign as original gangster leader in Far Rock. The operation made at least $15,000 a week, easy. Deadeye would go on to admit that he sold cocaine and had an illegal weapon. Akeem, a lieutenant, who we mentioned as an accomplice in an earlier shooting, entered a guilty plea to having a loaded semi-automatic handgun. Deadeye got his sentence reduced from 15 years to 8.5, and Addison cut his from 7 years to 6. The sting resulted in the arrest of key players suspected of being involved in the Bloods. Another one of Deadeye's lieutenants, Lowell Fletcher, aka Lodi Mac, who was an honorary member of rap star 50 Cent's G Unit, was arrested in the sweep as well. Him and Tony Yeo was charged with attacking the 14-year son of another well-known gangster, Jimmy Hinchman. Lodi Mac was arrested in 2007 shortly after the...
Yeah, Lodi Mac, man. Damn, rest in peace. We from the hood, actually know him. Damn. That shit's fucked up when you watching stuff like this and you seeing like documentaries that people putting out of people that you actually ran around with in the streets, and that's one right there. Like, damn, rest in peace, Lodi.
This. Henchman waited until Lodi Mac was released from prison to retaliate. About 2 weeks after Lodi's Mac's release in 2009, he was gunned down in the Bronx for the attack. Jimmy Henchman had put a hit out on him. In 2010, another indictment would sweep across the area, stemming from a 2-year investigation. Among 84 individuals arrested, 45 were alleged gang members with ties to the Crips, including a former city correction officer, and 26 purported Bloods affiliates. There were homicides, numerous gang shootings, and a plot to murder police officers on foot patrol in Jamaica, Queens, and the seizure of 60 handguns, more than 5 kilograms of cocaine, 567 decks of heroin.
This must be the wild meter joint. The flop and everything 2010 joint.
2 pounds of marijuana and about $50,000 drug money. This is where things get tricky. During this time, specific sets of the Crip Street Gang had joined forces with individual Blood Street Gang members to create a larger unified gang known as the Flock Gang. It rose to power in Far Rockaway and led to a surge of violent crime and bloodshed in the area. The Crips faction consisted of the Hassock Boys, Hamel's Houses in the 80s, Gang of Apes, GOA, Wild Nita and Get It in Bricks, GIB. The gang allegedly funded their criminal enterprise through the illegal sale and distribution of narcotics throughout Far Rockaway and South Jamaica, Queens. Among those arrested were numerous alleged Wild Nita gang members, including its alleged leader, Antoine Nance, Jamar Pleasure, Jamal Ainer, Jasper Pleasure.
So they got Money A as the leader. Yo, this is crazy, y'all, man. Now you see why these other indictments be coming years down the line. It's no coincidence. This shit came out before that last little sweep. They said he was the, oh, man. I think I might have just cracked the code, y'all.
Jonathan Pledger, Lester Carpenter, and Jason Jones for the murder of Joseph Azoro, 25, who was fatally shot at the Edgemere houses in Far Rockaway on Friday, April 2nd, 2010. Also alleged Bloods gang members, Barry Gray and Wayne Young, were arrested in August 2009 on second-degree murder charges for fatally shooting alleged fellow gang member Roland Spivey earlier that month. Also arrested was Derek Hardy, the alleged leader of GOA Hardy, along with alleged GOA members Jonathan Crosby, William Spencer, and George Delgado, were charged with the attempted murder of Dashan Hines, a member of the rival Bloods gang, on January 10, 2010. Hardy was also charged along with Antwin Jack for a September 2009 altercation with members of the rival Click Clack set of the Bloods, which was Dead Eyes 5-9 Grim set, during which a marked NYPD patrol car was shotted while occupied by 2 officers. Click Clack members hung on the 58th Street side of the projects. The investigation also led to the apprehension of alleged GIB gang members Darrell Daniels, Leroy Barnett, Sherm Edwards, and Malik Miller for the attempted murder of 23-year-old Japel Cox on November 20, 2009, resulting from the rivalry between the Crips and the Bloods gangs. Alleged Wognita gang members Campbell Cardwell, Maurice Holden, and Willie Waters were all arrested for the attempted murder of Richard Liddy, an alleged member of the rival Click Clack set of the Bloods, which occurred on September 6, 2009 in Edgemere. Through the use of court-authorized eavesdropping warrants and other investigative resources, it was allegedly learned that Keith Livingston, an alleged Bloods associate, possessed firearms and planned to shoot police officers performing foot patrol in Jamaica, Queens. In September 2009, Livingston was charged with criminal possession of weapons after police allegedly seized a duffel bag containing a 9mm handgun, a defaced 9mm high-point rifle, and various amounts of ammunition.
Yo, this shit is crazy, bro. They just be affiliating motherfuckers with people just because, you know, they probably cordial. Everybody's not blood. Everybody's not Crip, man. That's what people be needing to know, man. And, you know, this shit is just, this is how people go to jail, man. So I don't be putting out stuff like this. I do some reactions to it, though. I think I'm going to do the reactions from now on, man. This might be my new forte right here. What you think? Give me a hell yeah.
Belonging to him. The investigation also led to the arrests of numerous gang members who were storing handguns for such high-ranking members of the Flock Gang as G. Quan Lloyd, the reputed leader of the GIB set. Among those arrested was former city correction officer and alleged GIB member Ferris Smith. On October 28, 2009, a search warrant was
they said GIB had this correction officer that was claiming.
executed at Smith's residence, and police allegedly recovered a 9mm pistol from under the mattress that allegedly had been stolen from a fellow correction officer in Queens earlier that year, a loaded and defaced AK-47 wrapped in a blanket behind the headboard, a 12-gauge shotgun, and assorted boxes of ammunition. Also charged in the investigation was reputed GIB member Stephen Caraballo, who is an alleged firearms and narcotics supplier in Far Rockaway. Pursuant to a search warrant executed at his residence in February 2010, police allegedly recovered 14 weapons including 12 loaded handguns, some of which were defaced, and 2 assault rifles, 1,350 rounds of assorted ammunition, more than 8 ounces of cocaine, powder and crack, more than 2 ounces of marijuana, 308 ecstasy pills, 23 glass bottles containing steroids, more than $500 worth of fireworks.
This niggas was on roids. Oh shit. They had HGH in the hood, man. Shit. You know everybody was getting some money. Motherfuckers had HGH.
And $8,000 in cash. In another case, it is charged, information was developed during the investigation that a number of heroin to street-level dealers, as well as users, also in Maryland. So now, that's a little history on the area. In part 2, we will build on this Far Rock story. an assault he allegedly committed in 2007.
Did they ever
also
put
in
out a
Maryland.
part 2 of this?
So
'Cause
now,
this,
that's a little history on the area.
I don't know,
In
man.
part
I
2,
think
we will
the
build on this Far
person
Rock
who
story.
made this,
Thanks for watching.
you need to
You must have forgot where the fuck I came from. Old black chick, cone hat on with the same gun. You whack out, I pull a smack out. Hollow to spit, niggas is thinking I blacked out.
I ain't gonna hold you up, man. He need to holla at me, man, next time y'all trying to put out a video like that. Cause yo, Mike, what's good, my boy? You need to holla at me next time he it was definitely a good video. I ain't gonna front, man, but you know, a lot of, you know, it's one of those things where you shouldn't be able to get stuff right, man. Yeah. That's why I don't be trying to do like stuff like that, the in depth where you gotta go. That was a good video, but it wasn't accurate, buddy. It's your boy Ty West, man. I holla at y'all. Y'all know the vibes.